Oh, goodness. It is, I believe the presidential debate is going on. Hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I did say on my last StreamYard, hey, hello, Sue Loomis. How are you? Welcome, welcome. I am humming to Faith Evans. I am not going to keep you long. I don't know if people are. Hello, Jen. How are you? Hello. I'm not going to keep you long. I just wanted to chat a little bit and see what was going on with everyone. I know a lot has been going on. I have been out of the loop. I have been a bit checked out because I have been doing a lot of stuff. I have been studying like a madman, but I did say, what was it? I did my test StreamYard on Monday, and I said I was going to come in on Wednesday, so I wanted to honor that. No matter if anybody was on, I was going to do a live stream and just say hi. Thank you so much. Thank you for the sound check. I appreciate it, and wanted to see just give you guys a life update and let you know what was going on with me. So I have been studying for a major certification. I had a certification that I was studying for a few months ago, and I got that one. Thank you, Jen. And then I was studying for another certification. This was a really big one, a major one, and which is why I was pretty much out of the loop. I was getting up, still doing my CrossFit at 5 a.m., working a full day, getting out of work, and doing my other stuff, and studying until roughly around 9, 10 o'clock, trying to wind down and go to bed and do it all over again. Because I took the first certification in August, gave myself a week off, and started grinding again. And my exam was actually Friday. So I drove to Indianapolis, took the test, passed the test, crushed the test. And it was a 5-hour test. Well, we had 5 hours to complete the test. Most people, I think there was like 17 of us to take the test. I think the majority finished anywhere between 3.5 to 5 hours. I took the full 5 hours because there's no, you don't get any brownie points for finishing it under 5 hours. And I took the full allotted time, and I got a 90. When you get your letter, they don't tell you how long it took you, but they do tell you your grade. So that mattered. So that was important, and everybody did not pass the test. So that was important too. So I was very relieved. I saw my son, and who's there in Indianapolis, and I slept pretty much for almost 24 hours after that, feeling relieved from that. And I think I'm back with the living. So there's a lot going on. Saw lots of notifications, tons of notifications, and just by the title, I'm like, oh goodness. So I've seen a lot going on based on the notifications, and I am not even going to attempt to try to catch up. But you know how it is. There's always something going on. But that is my life update. In the midst of that, I had a small crisis. In the midst of, I think I had already taken my first test, someone stole my dog. Someone had vandalized my gate, had actually um, tore my gate. I have a wooden fence, and vandalized my gate, and my dog was gone. Yeah, my dog was gone. I had gotten up in the morning, went to the gym, and we had realized it was Saturday morning. No, yeah, it was Saturday morning. And thank you. We had realized it was just one of those mornings. We have a doggy bed, and he sleeps. I have a miniature schnauzer. His name is Milo, and I have a doggy bed that sits on our bed. He sleeps in his own bed on top of our bed. So he that particular night, my husband kicked him out the room because he doesn't sleep with us every night, but he has his own bed on top of our bed. But that particular night, he kicked him out. So he kicked him out around 12:30, um, early Saturday morning, and I got up at 7 to go to the gym and realized that he didn't greet me, and thought that was strange, and went to go look outside. I'm like, something's not right. So I went out to the backyard, and I'm like, huh, there's like a hole in my gate. Where is that coming from? Like, and my gate is like a year and a half old. We just got a brand new gate. But when I went to the outside, we thought he just got out. But when I went to the outside of the gate, we saw it looked like someone had actually gotten on the ground and had to have pulled the the plaques of the wooden, because they were done. They're not, you know how some of the fences are kind of pre-made in slats? These were like one slat at a time done. And it looked like someone had to actually get on the ground and pull them from the bottom and pull them, and left three pieces of the wooden slats on the ground. And when I saw that, I told my husband, don't even bother to go scream. Don't yell for him. He's gone. So that happened on a Wednesday. I mean, that happened on a Saturday, and he had gone missing from Saturday. And we didn't get him back until Wednesday. But I mean, I had so many people looking for him. As soon as I said something, I didn't even want to say anything, because, like, to say anything, I just wanted to burst out into tears. And I thought, he's going to be gone forever. I'm not going to get him back. Someone took him. I've never had anybody do anything. Like, I had to call the police and file a report, because someone vandalized my property. I've never had anything like that happen to me. So I felt violated by that, and I felt violated that someone took my dog, and it was just a mess. And all of that, and I still had to go to work. It was a mess. But then I got a call. I'm busy studying at my office, and I get a call, and they were like, I have your dog. And I mean, I barely hung up, and I go to my house. Yeah, I got him back. And it was so, I don't even remember, but my husband tells me, he says that, Milo was happy to see him. He says, but he practically leaped out of his arms when he saw me. It was like a Lassie moment. I just could not stop crying and hugging. But I will say, he was really, really skittish afterwards. He had like bug bite marks underneath his belly. I don't know where he went in, through like a leg or something, because he's a house dog. He's not used to being out. But it was a family that found him. He was in another subdivision about 2 miles away, and she brought him back, and very nice. She didn't want anything. I wanted to give her a gift card or something, but she was like, no, I'm a fur mommy, and I'm just happy, you got your dog. So I had to make so many phone calls after that I got him back and all that. I think I might have spent like 45 minutes making phone calls to let everybody know because so many people, groomers, everyone who had personal pages and, animal pages, was so nice and so kind to spread the word out. But yeah, it was terrible. It was awful, horrible. So yeah, so I had a lot of that. Hey, Miss Attic, how's the baby doing? How's the baby doing? But yeah, I'm so glad I got him back in between that. So I had a little chaos in between all that. So, but yes, my fur baby, he's back. He's good. We're all good. Yeah. So, hello, Mr. Wise. I've seen you around. I've seen you around. Aw, I'm glad. I'm glad. I know she's probably getting rid of. How old is the baby now? How old is your baby, Miss Attic? And welcome, Mr. Wise. I have seen you around. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing like everybody else. I'm sporting my avatar. Everybody's doing avatar, so I'm like, why not me? I'm doing my avatar. I mean, I am camera ready, okay? I am camera ready. I got my fro. Miss Fro is doing real nice. She's growing real good. I'm camera ready. But I figure since everybody's doing their avatar, I'm gonna sport my avatar. But no, my fro is doing good. But yeah. So yeah, I was just giving you guys a life update, and that's all. I didn't really have anything. I know I did want to talk about, but I figured I might save it depending on tomorrow. I know oh my gosh. Oh, you ran into, oh, I'm happy that you're here, Mr. Wise. Welcome. I don't know if I have seen you around. I can't remember if you've been on my channel before. For some reason, I feel like you have, but if you haven't, welcome. I mean, I'm an easygoing person. I talk about random stuff, nothing, we're an easygoing, laid back group here. So as long as we're respectful, you are welcome. All is welcome here. No problems. I'm not going to keep you long because I'm like I said, I'm doing a life update. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you very much. But 1 years old. Oh my gosh. And how's little man, Miss Attic? Gosh, how old is he now? 9, 10? Is he double digits by now? I have to say, life this year, as most people, time is a whole different atmosphere, a whole different realm. My days and 11. See, I was close. Oh gosh. Oh, I remember when he was like 6. Oh, he's almost a teenager. Lord, help us all. But I know he's a good one. I know you raising a prince. He's going to be a king before we know it. Anyway, so I'm happy for you, Miss Attic. So I know Brianna Pettyville was going to talk about, I wanted to talk about it on my channel, but because my channel is so small, hey, Bashful Bee, I know you've been busy. Thank you. And I see Daddy is looking sharp. I'm so glad. I love and thank you, Bashful B. I know you're busy, but I've been watching your posts and I gave you a response. I am waiting for you to tell your story. I look forward to it. I do have a friend that shares in what you have gone through, you being a survivor, and more men need to share their story. So um, I'm waiting to hear your story. So thank you for showing me some love. Be blessed as well. Give your daddy a hug, okay? Um, she was going to talk about Brianna was going to talk about American Murder, about Chris Watts, the husband who killed his pregnant wife and 2 little girls, 3 and 4, who lied about it, who had a girlfriend. And I wanted to talk about it, but I wanted to talk about it from a different uh, avenue. And I wanted to hopefully add to Brianna's live. Hopefully, I'm going to be available when she does it because I'm not sure when she's going to be live. But maybe I will still touch on it maybe through the weekend. And there were some things that I really, if you didn't watch it, it's on Netflix. It's about an hour and a half long. And I know I watched it when it first came out, like when the murder happened, like in real time. And one of the things that I really like watching murders documentaries is that you can always watch the same murder, but they all come out in different perspectives. And the one thing that Netflix did that was different from, say, prime time, Dateline, all that, is that what they did was they took all the text and mapped out a whole timeline. And a lot of the other shows didn't do that, which made the Netflix documentary really different. Now, if you have not watched the documentary, or you're not, okay, it was. If you haven't watched it or you're not familiar with the murder, it happened 2018. And this Shanann Watts was a young wife and mother married to Chris Watts. I believe they were in Colorado, young couple. And this what made this story intriguing is that she was a young woman and she lived her life really through social media. She was a woman who did a she had a, I don't want to say it was a multi-level marketing company, but she did have a kind of home-based business, and she did a lot of her life through social media. She had a Facebook page, and like a lot of us, we catalog our life through social media, and she was heavily into social media, debuting and broadcasting her family. And a lot of questions come up about how she and her, the dynamics between her and Chris, what kind of wife she was, what kind of woman she was, what kind of man Chris was, how maybe she was a little bit more, she says she was the domineering one. He was passive. When they got married, he was chunky, and then he ended up, he was like, when he was at one point 240 something pounds and got chiseled down to 185 pounds. Good looking guy. There's some things that really was not said. I was so irate he would kill his family but try to blame his wife. Yeah, he did. That woman loved him so much. It's obvious he wanted to be single and free. Yes, and you know what, Miss Attic, this is a question. I've been married for a very long time. I've been married in February. It'll be 27 years I've been married. And I people ask me this question a lot. I have people, I have people talk, and you'll see it a lot of times. I've had someone do like a question of the day, and I have never wavered from this answer. And when I say my answer, this says it so much in this particular case. And someone asked the question, what do you think is the number one what do you think is the number one uh, like poison, or what is the worst thing that can happen in a marriage? What would you think is the irreconcilable thing in a marriage? And of course, a lot of people will say, you know, trust, cheating, all that stuff. And I've said this as a child because I witnessed it. And I've said, hey, Michaeline, and I've said resentment. I've never wavered from my answer. What is the number one thing that will ruin a relationship or marriage? And I always go back to resentment. And when I think about this case, it just covers in resentment. Resentment, if anybody has resentment in a marriage, it's a cancer. It metastasizes, it grows, and it just permeates. And all I could think about in this case was this man had a the case on Netflix, the Chris Watts case is called American Murder. It came out September 30th, and everybody's been kind of reviewing it. As the murder happened, I believe, in 2018, where the gentleman, Chris Watts, killed his pregnant wife and his two children, his two young children who were 3 and 4. He did. No, I don't think he wanted the last baby. I don't think I don't think he felt like he had any kind of I don't think he felt like he had any kind of say in his marriage at all. Okay, you didn't finish. Well, yeah, I was going to talk about it, but I know Brianna Pettyville was going to do something on Thursday. But when I think about what was wrong in their marriage, he had a deep, seething resentment regard. Hey, Margot, how are you? I think he had a deep-seating case of resentment towards her. And here's the thing, if I don't get a chance to talk about it on Thursday, I would like to know, because it wasn't mentioned. It wasn't really mentioned. Yes, I do agree. I want to know, what was it about Shanann, his wife, that the mother didn't like? Because his mother and his sister, his family didn't come to their wedding. His family didn't come to the wedding. His mother and his wife had a huge fight regarding ice cream. They were not invited to the little girl, the 3-year-old's birthday party over ice cream. When they met, I guess she had been diagnosed with having lupus. Right. It wasn't, and I've watched other cases and it really wasn't explained. I want to know, what is it about him that he was attracted to her? Because I have a stinking suspicion that Shanann was unlike all the other girlfriends that he had in the past, which may be the reason why his mom didn't like her. Right. Yes, the baby was allergic to the ice cream, and she had an allergic reaction, and Shanann, being Mama Bear, flipped out, and she said, "You tried to kill my baby," which, you know, let's be honest. Do you really think Grandma was truly trying to kill her grandchild? Let's be honest. Do you really think Grandma was really trying to kill the baby over the ice cream? I don't think so. I'm a mom, and I've had a mother-in-law. I have a mother-in-law, and I'm a mother-in-law, and I have grandbabies. I know both sides. I know what it's like to be a little sensitive about my children, to have a mother-in-law who you're already a little bit sensitive going in because you don't get along with the mother-in-law. So maybe you're already sensitive to whatever she has anything to say. You know, she could have given the baby Jello, and it could have had red dye number 48 for all we know. Well, we don't know. See, the thing about it is that we don't know. Um, but you got finish watching the movie, because the texts say a lot of things, and typical stuff. Mom and the mother-in-law don't get along, and Uh, the husband's in the middle. Pick a side. That kind of stuff, typical stuff. But he didn't have a backbone. It's very telling. I'm just saying the nuances about that. It's very telling. She had lupus, and she almost by the way she talks about him through social media, she mentions him like he was a knight in shining armor with her lupus. He found her at her worst. But yet, in many ways, she kind of was a henpecker, like the Christmas scene where she wants to have this picturesque thing about Santa, and he didn't remember to bring the camera. He left it in the garage, and she's like, I have to do everything because he didn't do it the way she wanted it done. Little things, henpecking. You know, people can only be pecked so much, and then they don't like it anymore. But he never said anything. Those kind of things. She's telling the world about her family, the face, what was that show? On ABC, Bree Vanderkamp, the Desperate Housewives. Remember that? No, it's a documentary based on a real murder that happened a couple of years ago. It's on Netflix called American Murder. But remember Desperate Housewives, Bree Vanderkamp? Right. And Bree Vanderkamp, behind the doors, things were falling apart. But when they left the house, everybody was picture perfect. You know, to social media, these kids were perfect. The husband was perfect. But when you see the text messages, her husband wasn't, having sex with her. He wasn't texting her. He wasn't calling her when she went to go back to North Carolina to visit family. All that stuff, we couldn't even have a organic moment at the beach. Of course nobody's perfect, but she's manufacturing these moments instead of letting these moments happen organically. You're at the beach, and there's him with his daughter, and there's a guy with his daughter behind, and she's trying to make him be happy, with the daughter jumping the waves, with in the at the beach. He didn't want to really do that, but he's trying to make this moment happen instead of just being, faking it. Now you texting your girlfriend saying he won't touch me, but you're taking these pictures like everything's great. It's really something different to watch the show, because when you see these text messages, but isn't that what we see right now in life? We're watching people doing it for the gram, living a shell. What were you so confused? What were you confused about? He rejected me. No sex tonight. Yeah, she even asked him if he was cheating. Right. She's like, I took a shower at night, which means I want sex. Code for I would like to have sex, and he went to sleep. Right. Yeah. What were you confused about? When you read the text in the timeline, you see like mm mm mm. So sad. And she was gone for a long time with her family. But again, isn't that what we see? Isn't that what we see now? We see people on social media having one life that they want us to see, but real life is falling apart. You're gonna watch it again. What did I give you some insight that you didn't, Jen? Did you catch something? Did I Did I give you an insight that you didn't see before? I told you I had notes yesterday. Was even more confused? Well, watch it. This is why we don't do relationship goals. Let's kill, cancel, have a moratorium, dead relationship goals. There's no such thing as relationship goals. Okay? Don't ever look at someone else's relationship and just and pine over it or think that you know their relationship is so good. Don't ever do that. I'm sure there were so many women in that girl's circle that thought that, you know, she had it going on. You know, she's got a great family, beautiful kids, a great husband who dotes on her. And look, you know, now obviously this is a very extreme situation, but is it really? I mean, that's right. What works for one may not work for you. And truth be told, nobody knows what's going on in people's relationships. No one has any idea what is going on in people's relationships. You just see what people want you to see at any given time. They could have been cussing each other out in the car. Oh, yeah. Oh, when at the interrogation. Right, right, right. Okay. Yeah. Confused. You know why? Because he was making it up as he went along. Okay. All right. So I know some of you have not, I know some of you have not seen the movie. So, I mean, because we all know that he went to jail, right? So we know he's guilty. Okay. So there's a scene where he's asked if he will take a polygraph. And the the woman, she's a cop, who's there to take the polygraph. She's real nice. She's real kind of mild mannered. And she even tells her in the beginning, you know, taking a polygraph isn't normal, but if for some reason I need to know something, you should tell me right now. Because right now, two people know, and before this is over, we're going to know the truth. He's like, okay. So we all know that he did it. He knows that he did it, but he's going to go follow through and take the polygraph. He takes the polygraph. He comes back and she says, we need to talk. You failed the polygraph. And he's like, I did. She's like, of course you did. You knew you were going to fail it. You know, and more than likely, because we don't know, but more than likely he failed miserably. And she's like, let's just stop. Let's just stop. We're not even gonna do this. Let's just talk about what really happened. So he's trying to still go with this lie. And then that's when the dad comes in and the dad is like, what do you want to tell me? And he was calm from the beginning, but you know, I think of course people, what is it? Is it a sociopath that knows right from wrong but just doesn't care? Is that what it is? Sociopath? And somehow or another they still think that they're smarter than the average bear and always seems to think that maybe that they can have a leg up. And dad is clueless. He's clueless. But I think he was just still trying to talk his way out and dad wasn't following what was going on. So yeah, I think Miss Attic, I think that's why he was like, what are you talking about? Because dad was confused. But I think I'm gonna watch that again because I think Dad was confused, and I think Chris was just off, trying to do something off the dome. He wasn't prepared. And don't forget, remember in the beginning, because when I watched that from the very beginning, when the murder had just happened and he had confessed. Yes, the video. That's what I was going to get to. So when he's calm. The he's calm when he goes to the neighbor's house and the neighbor is talking about the video because he's got the video. The female detectives first started to blame the dead wife, hoping that he would confess that. Well, that's you know what? That is that right there. Yeah. Well, that's because, yeah, I know that made you mad, but that was her way to get him to try to, because he wasn't going to confess. So she's like, all right, listen, did she do something? And you felt like you had to do something? Because he wasn't going to just outright say it. So she was like, okay, let's just get around this and let's go a different way. Because we knew that Shanann didn't do anything to her children. Yeah, we knew that Shanann didn't do anything, but he wasn't going to confess and say he did anything. So it was like, all right, let's have a mitigating circumstance. You're a good guy. You love your kids. You wouldn't have done anything unless you had to do something. So what was it? That was that it was it was just another tactic to get him to say something. But when I thought it was odd that when they were at the neighbor's house and they're going over the video, he never looked at the tape. He never looked at the camera. Now, your wife and your children are missing. You wouldn't be glued to your neighbor's video to see if anything that you could, if you weren't involved, that you would notice something. He didn't look. And then when he put his hand over his head, he was like getting ready to crawl out of his skin. That was the only time that he showed any kind of emotion. But he wasn't trying to look at that video. And then the guy's like, he ain't right. And I was with him. He ain't right. He's not right. He's like, he ain't never been like that. I was like, man, I don't even know you, but I believe you. That's not right. That's not normal behavior. And the cop's like, well, everybody. He's like, yeah, I guess, but that ain't him. Who would who your wife and child, your wife who is pregnant and your two little kids are missing. Why wouldn't you be looking at the tape, the big TV, to see if you notice anything different? And he's busy talking about tools being stolen. Seriously? Seriously. You're going into detail about why you backed into the garage because of tools being stolen, and your children and your wife who's pregnant is missing. And we're going to focus about chatter about tools being stolen and break-ins. Exactly. I would have been studying that video. I would have been looking to see anything, an iota of evidence that I could have seen. He didn't even want to be there, much less look at that TV. So, yeah. But resentment. He resented his wife. He resented his wife for a lot of stuff. Hi, Slim, too. Welcome. He resented his wife for a lot of stuff. And it came into rage. Now, uh, he was busy focusing on those so-called tools. Yeah. I mean, what led up to him killing her, I don't think we'll ever know. I don't think we'll ever know because he was saying how they were talking about getting a divorce. And I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't think he ever had a backbone to talk about getting a divorce. I don't think that conversation ever happened. What do you think? Anybody think that he ever had a conversation about separating? I don't. Put a one in the chat if you think that he ever talked about getting a divorce. Put a two if you think, put a one for yes, he talked about a divorce. Put a two if you think no. I say no. I don't think it ever happened. I think he made that up. Like everything else he made up. I don't think truth is in him. Because even when the text, she was like, "You don't care about us," and he's like, "I love you." Mm-mm. I just don't see it. There's nothing about him that said that he's not. He would never confront her in anything. He didn't have a backbone for anything. So, trying to have this perfect life. Two, okay. I don't think they ever had a. Don't think they ever had a con. I don't think he ever had a conversation. And I know she didn't have a conversation. She said that she could not come back. Now she says she could not come back to that. She said that in her text, that she could not come back to that. But I don't think he ever had a conversation saying that we should have a separation. He told the cops that. He didn't tell that to her. I don't think that for a second. What do you think, Slim 2? Are you still in the chat? I don't think they had the conversation. Now, the young lady who he was with was the younger version of Shanann, who probably had no expectations of him. Right. She didn't know what was going on. She had no idea. She was a younger version of his wife. She had no expectations and no burdens. So, it made things real easy for him. The friend who dropped her off at 2 alarm went alarm. Yeah. And he didn't want to talk to her at all. He didn't want to talk to her at all. Yeah. And it makes you wonder what, I mean, I don't know. And the cop did ask him about him losing weight. What did that flip the switch for him losing weight? And he said no. But yeah, I don't think the girlfriend, I think she was collateral damage. I think the girlfriend was just I think she was collateral damage because she had no idea. Um, she thought that they were separated. She believed that she did not encourage, because the cop asked, did she ever say anything like, "I don't want children," kind of like a Susan Smith? Because Susan Smith tried, one of the reasons why Susan Smith drowned her boys in the lake in South Carolina is because she had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend wrote a letter to her and said, "I really like what we have going, but I have no desire to be a father to anybody's kids." So Susan Smith thought that instead of just letting the boys be with the daddy, I'm just going to just let him drown in the lake. And that's how I'm going to get rid of my problem, and I can be with the boyfriend. So the cop asked her if there was any conversation that you ever had regarding the children that would have made him do anything to hurt his children. She's like, no, absolutely not. No, no. So she was collateral. Yeah, an absolute fool. But I think the girlfriend was just collateral damage. If I don't hear from my friend in a few months, it would not. Well, I think what it was is I think she was supposed to be at an appointment and she wasn't at the appointment. I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. She was supposed to have been somewhere, and she had just dropped her friend off, and I think she had missed. She had just dropped her off. Oh, what was it? She had dropped her off from work, from a business trip, and then she was supposed to be at a doctor's appointment of sorts. She didn't make it and had not heard from her. And I think that she was her best friend. So she was very privy to the dynamics between what was going on between her and the husband. And she did not say anything that made her think that there was anything with Chris. She was just like, I think something's wrong with my friend. Don't forget the girl did have medical issues. She's pregnant, she did have lupus. So maybe she did think that there was something wrong and that maybe she was in some kind of distress. But what pregnant woman with children leave the house without their phone? Nobody. No pregnant woman with two small children leave the house without certain things. And therein lies, this ain't right. She didn't have her, like her favorite shoes. Ooh, Ozark, that's a good one. Ozark, that's a good one. That was a good show. So he was stupid. Her work phone. Yeah, well. And now you're with her best friend, and she would know that better than anyone else, right? So the lies, the lies, the lies, the lies. Oh, so where are we at? Okay, we're at 48 minutes. All right. So if you guys want to talk about this some more, that's fine. But what I also came on here to talk to you guys about, because I want to keep it at an hour, and I want to just kind of maybe I'll talk about this for another segment. Best man, yeah. See, he couldn't even play the part of being concerned. He was stuttering and everything. He was a mess. The way he acted, his whole body, it was trash. His whole demeanor was trash. His excuse was trash. It was all trash. It was trash. And and you want to know what's so sad? You want to know what was really sad when you look at the wedding and how her father and her mother and her brother thought he was so great. And then to come to this. That's what I felt so bad. Oh, did you hear about how Shanann was like, I didn't know this either. I didn't know this because, like I said, I watched the show, the different shows right after the trial and all. Well, not after the trial, but after he was arrested and convicted. I did not realize that there were social media sites Oh yeah, and he was the one, the younger one who was singing the song about my daddy is my hero. Ooh, you should go in the pits of hell knowing that your baby girl was singing a song about. You know what? That should be his purgatory. Like that should be funneled in his cell. Yeah, they're all in tears about how you're such a great guy for their daughter and their brother and their sister, and you just wipe their whole portion of their family and their legacy, their grandbabies. That my daddy is my hero. That should be on a loop, and you should be hearing that in your cell until you go insane. That should be your sentence, so you don't forget. Yeah, and that should end, and it should end that way. No daddy. Yeah, that's how that should go. But what was I gonna say? Um, what was I gonna say? I lost the thought. Anyway, um, yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about, one of the things that was, I had a discussion with a friend regarding 2020, you know, 2020, and was going to save it maybe for a segment we could talk about maybe next week, next Wednesday. And for a lot of people, this has not been a great year. Um, for some people, it's been an extraordinary year. And there's less than 100 days, and this year is going to be over. And we had lunch today, and I was asking her, have you learned anything from 2020? Because, I try to like take inventory about the year, no matter what year it is, going into the new year. And I'm like, this year has been really just something different for many different reasons. And I'm like, have you learned anything from 2020? And I was like, I know I've learned a lot from this year. And so I would like to have a really good 2020 has been rough for a lot of people in many ways, but I've learned a lot. And I don't know if things are going to change. I don't, people said this is our new normal. So if this is our new normal and I don't know what that means, like it goes beyond hand sanitizer and masks. You know what I mean? It's a whole other way of thinking. First it was, for me at least, first it was when we had that forced shut-in. It was like I have to sit down. I've learned a lot, suffered a lot, but I'm pushing through. Yeah. First, and I hope that you will see it on the other side brighter. The first thing I learned, that was in March, because I celebrated. I came into 2020 very excited and very hopeful. I was really looking forward to 2020 for many reasons. 2020 was turning 50. My son, my last one, leaving the nest, being a senior. He's flying out the nest and he's embarking his life, year of transitions, right? And I come back from my 50th celebration, and like everybody, we don't know what's going on. But the first thing I learned was like, I can't live my life the way I've been living, because when we were forced to stay home, I literally slept for, I think, 24 hours. Like my body was tired. And I realized that I had just been running around. Like my calendar was way too full. Not bad. Like, and I'm just, like today I did community service, right? I did my I did 2 hours volunteering at the Greater Chicago Food Depository, helping pack bread, so it can go out there to all, the different organizations. I like doing that. Last year, I put in over 100 hours of community service. And that wasn't bad, but I had so many other things that I was doing in my life. My calendar was full. Doing good work, doing good things, but I had no downtime. Like I had no balance. And when I was forced to sit down, it wasn't until I sat down and stopped moving that I realized how tired I was. I have a full life. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I can't do that. Like that was a revelation for me. And I said, okay, when this is over, this is March now, okay? I had no idea what this was going to be. And I'm like, okay, moving forward, when this is over, I'm not going to, I'm going to make some changes. I think for me, I've learned to be simple and thankful for something. Balance is very important. Absolutely. I was out of whack. And I'm like, I can't, I gotta make more time for myself. I have to have more downtime. I need to make more time for my husband. I have to make more time. I gotta clear my calendar more. It's like I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. So that's what I ended up doing. And then the second thing I learned is that I guess with the force shut in, I wasn't doing a lot of talking. Thank you. I found out I wasn't doing a lot of talking. I wasn't doing a lot of engaging. And that wasn't a bad thing. Um, Sometimes being quiet and being still and unplugging away from people sometimes isn't a bad thing. Gives you time to just kind of do more observing and see what happens. And that kind of revealed a lot to me. Kind of revealed a whole lot to me. And relationships that probably were on life support. You know how the doctor comes in the room and call it time? Some relationships got called. And it's okay. It's okay. Pruning season. 2020 is some pruning season. 2020 taught me to focus on me and stop running around trying to save everyone, including my own child. And you know what? That's a word right there. Now that's a word right there. Your load just got real light. Your load got real light. And it's okay. Listen, we were children once and we fell. We fell and we got up. I always love when Brianna sing, "We fall down, but we get up." I like it when she sings it like that. Yeah, we fall down, you get up. It's okay. It's okay. We don't stay down for long. So you get up. It's all right. Your load just got lighter. And you know what? Hey, I'm telling you, from mom to mom, There's going to be times where you watch a child fall. Ooh, and it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful, okay? Because you see them fall and you just want to help them, girl. You just want to help. But you know what? You know what I'm going to tell you to do, okay? I'm going to tell you go in your bedroom and cry in your pillow. Get it out, and then you'll be all right. And then you'll be all right. Because short of a medical emergency, most of them will probably be all right. Most of them will be all right. And most of the pain that we have done as children, as you know, it's been self-inflicted in the first place. Self-inflicted pain in the first place. But it's gonna be okay. I'm there for you. I at mom to mom, I'm standing in the gap. I understand your pain. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. All right, y'all. Well, we're at 1 hour and 1 minute. So this has been fun. I had a good time, me and my avatar. And yeah, it's been good. So I am going to hit the road. Yes, you had to let go. It's okay. But you know what? Letting go doesn't mean you're gone. You know, we had to let our kids go when they go learn to skate. We had to let them go physically when they were learning to ride a bike. We had to let them go on their first day on the bus to school. I mean, there are many let goes. You're welcome. There's many let goes. And sometimes we have to let them go when they don't want to let us go. You know, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm telling you because someone had to tell me. So I'm just paying it forward. I will not even fake it. That's right. I will not even fake it and tell you that I've had gotten it together as a mom. I can't tell you that. I'm not even gonna fake that. We just have a whole conversation about people perpetrating the fraud. Mm-mm. I will not even tell you that I have gotten it together as a mom and made fantastic first time grand decisions. No, I've reneged on some things. But yes, when you made that decision and say, I'm cutting the cord, I gotta cut the cord, not for you, but for me, then it'll be okay. And then we both grow. We both grow, we both get our wings, and we both do okay. And then we'll be all right. So yeah. So I don't know. I'll be seeing you guys around. Maybe I'll see you guys on the weekend. Maybe I'll check in on Sunday if the mood hits me. Maybe I'll check in by Wednesday. I don't know. I like Wednesday because my husband plays cards on Wednesday. So Wednesday works good for me. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So, as always, take care of yourself and each other. Hopefully, I will have a topic we can talk about. Thank you so much for participating. And I wasn't just sitting out in the atmosphere by myself. I enjoy all the time that I have with you guys. Thank you. Let me see. I had Michaeline, always a pleasure. Waiting for that coupon. You didn't think you was going to end waiting for that coupon YouTube channel, girl. Okay, just letting you know. Slim 2, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate your input. All right, just Miss Attic, always a pleasure. Give those babies a hug from me. Just where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Jen, thank you. I know you stopped by. Margot, thank you. Mr. Wise, I'm just double checking, make sure I got everybody. Bashful B, I know you checked in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Sue, thank you for stopping by. All right, I think I got everybody. All right. Small chat, but great conversation. Always a pleasure. All right, y'all. We're gonna check in on these vice president. You know, Vice President Pence is my former governor. He is a Hoosier. So I'm gonna check and see what he's doing. All right, y'all. Peace. Have a great time, great evening. Remember, take care of yourself and each other. Be good, y'all. Bye.